Hey, how you doing? My name is Alonzo Nelson. This is my beautiful wife.
Dawn Harper Nelson.
I forgot to say Alonzo Nelson Jr. But hey, boo.
Yes, that is your name.
It's
That's your
important.
name, boo. You right. That's
Very
your
important.
name, boo. But yeah.
So today, the title of this episode
Say
is
it.
"My Husband, Me,
Yes.
Suck at Communicating."
Because that's why they clicked on it. That's
Yeah.
why they said I want to.
Yeah, I really
They said
suck
air
at
his dirty
communicating.
laundry. Air it. Guess what, y'all?
Yeah.
I got you.
Look at me. I'm getting nervous.
Right. Right.
So basically, I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about communicating, and I think me and the wife, me and Dawn, had just finished I got in trouble because of some information I failed to share.
Don't y'all let her
Right?
hear that? He got in trouble. That's so funny.
And so for me, I think
some
it was like
questions
one of
about
those
that.
things where I really still have work to do when it comes to communication.
Absolutely.
So let's go just dive into it.
And when he say get in trouble, it's a real thing, y'all. Like it was just touchy up in here. Like the air was super thick with touchiness. Like let's just like irritated. Like it was y'all. I was irritated.
Yeah.
Like I know y'all think like, oh, they just so happy. No, we happy,
Yeah.
but the happiness
And
gets
so-
irritated.
And so even though she forgives like really
Okay,
quickly.
what is this? He be doing this trying to mock me. Don't be forgive.
No,
I do.
I ain't even do it. I'm just trying to dive into the conversation. But even though you forgive really quickly,
Yeah.
when you get irritated, like it's like pretty heavy. Like
Yeah.
I don't like that because when she's irritated, it means her feelings are hurt and she's upset, and I don't want no parts of that. But
Right.
I have all the parts of it
Exactly.
because of what I be doing.
Right. So we're gonna talk about communication,
Alright.
and we just want to talk about kind of think from the beginning of like
we're gonna
like
break
the
it
definition,
down.
definition,
You know,
how it's changed now because these generations,
Yeah,
even before us, where we are, and these new ones
right.
is real different. So we
Look what I got here.
y'all when he put that out,
Y'all
said
know
he
what
wanted
this
to even
is?
show this.
This is a dictionary, right?
Ridiculous.
Dictionary.com. Google. This is the
in
first
in
one.
his hand, right,
This
right,
is the
right,
first
right.
one.
Listen to it. That's real.
Yeah, it's authentic. So, communication, as defined by the Heritage College Dictionary, says it's the act of communicating or transmission, right? Communicate means to convey information about, make known, impart, to reveal clearly. That's
clearly.
That's the problem, right?
Legit.
We don't always reveal clearly.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just start with that. We'll just go with that, right? So,
That's so you're a teacher. So,
Yeah, so,
remember I told you?
yeah.
So that's your teacher.
hey,
that's how you go to the next.
Education is dope. We just had a teachable
He
moment,
did.
and so
Someone
like,
to wear the shirt.
let's do it. Which
Okay.
way you want to go, babe?
I'm talking about the generational differences.
All right.
I think that's
More stats. Mr. Do the Math time. All right. So I was looking up.
well. First, let me ask: how important is communication to you, though? Like, tell me that. Like, how important is it?
Like, honestly, communication is very important. And honestly,
Even though he don't act like- go ahead.
no, I do. So, I keep saying so. I'm gonna stop saying this is my last so.
It's not, but okay.
Well,
You're not about to switch it up, so.
when we first started dating, though, we were long distance. So communication was our relationship. So it's
Yeah.
very, very important.
Yep.
In fact, like I learned even before us getting together the importance of a man communicating or expressing his emotions and how he feels and everything. However, the way I was raised, I still like held in like my own opinions and or what I wanted to say or how I felt because I was always a pleaser, right? And that as an adult is terrible. It's like it doesn't work well.
I don't know why, but for some reason, I feel like in relationships, I'm pretty good at saying it, like expressing it.
Yeah, she
Now-
is. It's like, dang, dog, like back, like you didn't have to go that fast. You didn't have to be so ready to say it.
I am. Like, because for me, it's like, let's just say it. Let's get it out
Yeah.
there. This, I'm irritated. I'm not going to say nothing. Ooh, he should know.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is I'm not going to say it and shove it down your throat. But I'm going to say it, and it's like, so I don't need there's no gray areas. It's real black and white. And I think, but then, like how you even mentioned before, is that I can quickly get over stuff.
Yeah.
that's kind of how I operate. And so, like, for me, communication is extremely important. I think that's why I'm so straightforward with it, because I'm like, this is important, and for us to operate and cooperate in any way that's going to be functional, I need to say it, and you need to say it, and I need to know how you feeling and thinking. So it's important to me.
So Don mentioned, said so. Don mentioned something about a generational thing. I believe that we're Generation X. Right?
Okay.
We're Generation X,
I'm
then
off.
you got the millennials, then you got the Z's and all of that stuff. We came through right before. Right? We came through right before, like, we went totally into, like, cell phones. Right? Cell phones and communication purely through cell phones. So, statistically, I said it again. Statistically.
Just go, boy.
All right, so my stats say this. Did I say it again?
Yes.
I did.
You said so. My stats say.
Oh, my gosh.
But go on.
So, globally, 65% of Generation Z and millennials prefer texting and using the phone as the main source of communication. That's globally. Here's what's crazy. In the United States, 74% of this current generation and our generation too, honestly, prefer texting and using phone to communicate.
Yeah. To me, I think about how the generation now. I mean, I've literally heard where they say stuff like, "Nah, the girl, she's in the class." Like, they take the same class together, but they're like, "No, I'm not going to approach her and talk to her. I'm gonna find her on social media and drop a message in her DM. Like, I'm gonna jump in her DMs."
Yeah.
And you're like, she's literally as close as you could possibly get, and you're like, nah. And it's more of, they're like, I can't face that rejection, or like for them to even verbalize it. Like, how do you just say that to someone's face? Like, I've seen it on TV with, like, how do you just say it to someone's face? And it's amazing how I feel like to even say it like this, that's like a lost art, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When we were in high school, we had, hey, Pancho, go tell such and such.
Right.
Like, share this message.
Yeah, even if you have to write a note.
I was just going to say that. The writing was the text message, but then the phone was your friend delivering it, because you didn't want to deliver this message yourself.
Right, because I ain't trying to see the face and all.
You don't want to see the nerves
exactly.
and everything like that.
But then I think about even just how, for us, I don't know if you did this, but how your mother would even say, okay, go into the store or go over there and ask them, or even like,
you were required to speak.
Yeah, face to face.
Yes.
Like, they're forcing you to learn how to interact and to get over your nervousness, to formulate your words, your sentences.
That's the lost art right there.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, for me, so I think about that actually quite often. Even though Harper's only 16 months, I think all the time, like, no, we're going to be in the store and I'm going to say, Harper, go over and tell them, like, my mommy says she doesn't want this anymore. Or, where is the deodorant? You know what I mean? Or, just what aisle is the deodorant in? Just to get her out there and to get her comfortable in her own skin, comfortable with other people.
Yeah. The other thing that I believe will assist Harper in doing those type of things is getting her to read out loud. I think reading out loud was something that we were required to do growing up. Yeah. And that's what you did. That's how you got better at speaking. That's how reading is how you grow your vocabulary, but reading out loud is how you get to practice, like, articulating all those things. Absolutely. And we don't do that. And now back to like this generation, right? What's so scary about it now is they communicate through social media, and social media is not confined to your school. It's not confined to your classroom. It's not confined to your city. It's a worldwide thing. And so when things happen, the level of ridicule is much greater now. And honestly, as a school teacher, 90% of all of our conflict comes from social media. Comes from
that you have to deal with in the school system.
90% of it, like probably even more. But
yeah, because I mean, think about it. Say you did get into it, or some girl, you and this girl, we dislike each other. She's literally posting something online, so her friends that may not even go to the school, or just friends and
everybody
family, everybody sees it, and then people are like, "Oh, she did that. Oh, I hate that girl. Oh, she blah blah. She should." And then you get stuck extreme stuff. She should kill herself. It's just crazy things when you're like, why? Because someone dislikes or whatever, should someone then in their life? And then how do you deal with that when if this is their world in high school? They feel like the world hates me. The world feels like I shouldn't be on this earth anymore. And so that's why, I feel like a lot of they take it in a sense harder than, it's just harder for them, I feel like. Like our world, we knew it was these four walls. Like at East Side, it was East Side that, oh my goodness, could not stand it. But I didn't feel like people at Beverly West and Beverly East and O'Fallon. I didn't feel like that.
Sidebar. Middle school
Right.
was by far
Oh my goodness.
the hardest
all the
stage
time.
of my life and everybody else's life.
Was it?
Heck yeah.
Was it for me?
Middle school is it. And I think that's where you learn your grit. Like that's where you get your tough skin at.
I totally agree.
But it's still like mad different now.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, okay. Then talking about now, think about for me when I think of communication and how it kind of used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just bear with me. It seemed like it was a lot more of, you know, kind of the man saying, "Cause I said so," like in the household, and it was more of you just kind of accepted it. That was law. Like, you know, well, he's kind of, more times than not, he was the breadwinner. You just kind of dealt with it like, okay, you think about it. Dad's coming home. The kids need to be quiet because dad's got to rest or got to have dinner. Certain things that you felt like you were, to a certain extent, trying to please or satisfy father,
let's
dad,
go
right?
that way. Let's go that way.
Yeah, but then I think about, you know, now, us women, we're feeling more empowered. We're feeling like now our contribution back then was just as significant as it is today.
Yeah.
But now we feel like it's, you know, we got more support. Like you looking online and you're like, I got more people that feel like me. You feel like you have more of a voice, and so it's more. I think nowadays more of a conversation in the household instead of one person kind of being like, yo, back up because I said so. Being a dictatorship, so to speak.
Let's keep it 100. More women are becoming breadwinners in the household as well, right?
Yep.
So, you know,
go lady.
So you got more
lady.
women in leadership.
Yep.
Shout out to, you know, all the women that got voted into
Absolutely.
office, and Kamala Harris and everything like that. But that gives us that gives women like more of a say. Like laws have passed, laws have been passed to like empower and bring like that level playing field for women in the world. But when you talked about because I said so, right?
Yeah.
Boys grow up under their fathers seeing that they don't have to explain themselves, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, this boy doesn't learn how to explain himself or his feelings.
Communication.
Right? And then that's that generational, that trickle down thing or whatever. And so we suck at it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. Okay, so next thing. Let's just bring agree to disagree.
Man. All right, so dang, I said so again.
You got to let that go.
Today.
Don't say it as it is accepted. That's what you say.
I know.
You said today. You don't try and substitute with another word.
That was my the transition. Today's generation, or in today's world, in today's society, if I disagree with something, that means that I hate that person.
Cancel culture.
Right?
I think that you just...
And it's so frustrating. Like you're not allowed to like have your own opinion about anything.
Yeah.
You must agree with what's being said now.
Yes.
And that's so unfair.
I think what's hard about that is because we take disagreeing so intensely, like it's so serious now that people are just canceling. Like it's just like she disagrees, she must hate everything about them.
Yeah,
like
she must hate.
She's racist. She's this. Like no. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
But let's take it back to. There are some things that do need to be canceled because we not like hatred and all that, like racist, sexism. That you cannot. I do appreciate it in this sense. Nowadays there are some things we just not letting slide no more. Like you cannot just say that and then I'm gonna erase it and I didn't mean it.
Slide,
like,
but there's still things that are like that people are letting slide, right?
Yes.
Like the pedophilia stuff. That moved out, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because again, like people don't get to disagree openly about it.
Right. And it's like, no, I can say that I don't agree with that. I can say for me and my life,
that's not cool. Like you can honestly say that's not cool.
Yeah.
And because it's not cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like
saying it's not
it
cool.
could be like all around not cool, or it could be like that ain't cool to me. Like I don't like that.
To me,
you know?
How dare
and
you
just
have an
because
opinion.
I don't like that, don't mean that I hate
you.
How
dare you?
I don't
How
like
dare
the
you
fact,
have an opinion? Yeah, like that's just how it is nowadays. How dare you have an opinion?
And that's honestly what's going on, right? It's like it prevents us from having open and honest conversation.
Yes.
Right.
That's huge.
It causes one's voice to dominate the other. Like it's like, okay, Dawn has the floor, and she feels like A, and if B disagrees, but everybody else agrees with A, B's voice becomes muted.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, when did we start doing like why is that the case? Like why? I'm a person. Like I have formulated my own thoughts.
So now B is forced to feel the same way.
And it's also like who says that B's opinion isn't based off their experience? Like you don't know what each person is living and experiencing. Exactly. I've lived this life. More. For me, this is reality.
It doesn't matter no more.
I know, that sucks.
Right?
That sucks.
Yep.
That absolutely sucks. So but then I think about agreeing to disagree in a relationship such as a marriage, such as ours. Like
okay, I'm sorry. I said so again, didn't
No.
That was one of the main things I learned prior to getting into the relationship with you, right? Learn to, like, it's okay that she feels this way and you feel that way. Right. Agree to disagree and move on.
And I think the way that you can do that is, for me, when I thought of it, like, I had my priorities. I had my things that I felt were deal breakers, right? So when we started talking, so I'm saying, so we started talking, like, there are certain things that I'm listening for and I'm noticing. So once I have locked in and we're married and I'm like, yo, and I'm with this dude, the things that we're probably arguing over aren't deal breakers. So I'm okay. I'm okay that we can agree to disagree. Like, I'm not going to take this to the point where it's like, this conversation is not ending until you come to my side. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I feel like, but in relationships, like,
that's what happens though. Like, we ain't finishing this until you see it how I see it.
Well, I need you to understand that today we are, because guess what? It's 9:30. It's my bedtime. Right, and I gotta go to bed for track practice. Like, but it's like you got to be able to do that, and you don't. I'm very appreciative that we can do that. Now let me just straight up say,
it ain't easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it was not easy getting here though. Like, I remember almost like vividly, not the conversation, but vividly my emotions of just us having a conversation and me being like, he think that's cool. Like, okay, even an example of how for you don't plan like that. Like, you don't plan your day. Like, you, to a certain extent, you have an idea and you're like, all right, and you just go. And to a certain extent, you fly by the seat of your pants.
Yes.
You were about to say, don't you do it?
I'm a good flyer. I'm a good flyer.
You a lie. You know why? Because you have a wife now and you have a daughter. So that does not fly. You're flying, it does not work for two other people. Yo, we being thrown around your cabin. Look, we being thrown around your cabin.
I got Harper.
Babe, the other day, Harper had no food with you.
What are you talking about?
Babe, you gave her them graham crackers that was supposed to last her for hours and hours.
What are you talking about?
When you left the house, you were just like, oh, I forgot that I got to meet this person at 3:00, and I know Harper was going with you, so you just picked up Harper, and I'm like, did he grab food? You just had graham crackers for your daughter. She woke up from her nap. She woke up from her nap. It was time for her to eat. You did not have time to feed her. You basically threw clothes on her.
No. I fed her before we left.
Hey, no, you didn't.
I did.
I mean, you talking about a different time.
We talking about just like last week?
Yeah, we're going to track practice. Exactly. I'm talking about exactly.
No. She had food in there.
Graham crackers, babe. It was graham crackers. You know how I know? Because when I got to the track, you were just stuffing graham crackers in her face. And she had like 5 in her mouth.
And she was good though.
Whoa! She was good for a second. Then she was looking around like, "Where's some real food?" Fine. I brought real food for her to the track because I said, "I know that my husband."
I think I packed a banana too. Babe. I don't know. I get what you're saying though.
See, and this though, I'm so happy this is happening right here. This though is when it's like, can you just step back and be like, "Oh yeah, I was tripping."
I just said it. I get what you're saying.
No, bruh. You were trying to argue it down, and I'm like, my daughter had graham crackers because for you it's okay to fly by the seat of your pants. She was not, because you can be hungry and fine. 16-month-old, no sir, it ain't working.
16-month-old and Dawn-month-old.
Hey. So anyways, all of that to say, I don't even know where we were going, but listen, you need to be able to agree to disagree. I don't even know.
No. Like, that's one of the things where it's like, yo, you was right.
Yeah.
You right. I was wrong,
and I was saying, I remember, just visually, the emotion, and I'm speaking on this because we got to remember it's going to be work to get there. So I remember consciously being like, Dawn, like, it's cool. Like, it's cool. Like, you said your point like 2 times now. Yeah. And if he didn't change his opinion, you know it's not the end. Like, it's really, if you stop being like, real kind of, it's not the end of the world. Like, pretty you really much just want him to agree, but it's not the end of the world. And really, but recognizing that it's not that serious.
Vice versa.
And that's
like,
what I
even
like
for me, like,
but just being so irritating, almost like hot, like, it really is not gonna change.
That's one of the things where the conversation is just over, right?
Yeah.
Just to stop talking about it.
And maybe you just gotta take 2 seconds. Like, just go ahead, just take your 2 seconds. Like, sometimes you have to take 2 seconds. Sometimes you do. Just take your little step away. You know, you go to one part of the house. And you come back and you're like, so what we even doing? You know, just forcefully change conversation. So, hey,
the same effort that you put into like, you know, initiating that conversation or like giving that conversation life is the same effort you got to take into like letting that conversation subside.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And so, what was another thing we were talking about? Oh, you brought this up.
What's up?
Different types of. You said
so you got
communicators.
Like you got the listeners and the speakers. You got listeners, you got speakers. I'm sure there's something else, and then you have somebody that's a little bit of both, right?
What do you think you are? Between a listener and a speaker.
I feel like I'm a little bit of both. More of a listener than a speaker though.
You smooth a listener. Like you've gotten better to be a speaker.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I feel like I'm still literally laying you down and pulling out your teeth to get you to say stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in those moments, like you can tell you so don't want to say what the issue is that you, and I'm gonna just say it, you act like you can't talk, like you're just like, and I'm like, bruh, literally, I know you know the English language. Like, say the words.
Yeah, like
because the reason why it's like, say the words is, I'm telling you, I'm not mad right now. Like, I really want to receive what you have to say. And you're like, well, I don't, and I'm like, so then it turns into like, ooh, like,
yeah. Ooh. But like for me, I'd be like, I'm not trying to rock this boat right now. I just want to move. I just don't.
You rocking it though.
Yeah, I know. But like that's where I came from. That's where I was coming from. I'm much better now though.
Yes. I'm sorry. I know that's what I said. When I said my I was like, let me.
That was not.
Yes.
That was poor communication of the fact that I am doing better.
No. What it was that same energy I was giving to prove my point. No, I'm saying I needed to give you that same energy to say, yes, you are better. Absolutely.
What are you?
I am. So earlier you had said there's some people that you feel like can be like half. Mm-hmm. I feel like I still have my moments where I'm a little more of a speaker and then a listener. Like if I'm just trying to be honest. We say we're gonna be candid.
Keep it a buck.
What? So yeah, trying to be just straight up honest. I definitely 100%. Have, because it's so hard sometimes to fight against that nature. Not even being right, but it's like I just feel like maybe he don't understand. So let me say this: like he's not listening. Like he doesn't get what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say.
And if you ain't noticed already, she talks much faster than I do. Therefore, she feels like she can like sneak in a whole bunch of stuff before I start talking again. Okay. And for me, I don't care.
Like what? But let me say this though. Shut up. I just realized
though. I'm just saying what I'm gonna say.
But look, and that though, it's so weird how, but that's like the confidence that I like in you though. You be kind of like, listen, this is.
Oh, that's not what we gonna do though.
Slow you
man. And I'll do you one better though. I honestly feel like oftentimes I can express myself better through text message.
Really?
Yeah.
You have done that. It's only, I feel like only like one time I remember. I feel like I was laying in bed and you were like still downstairs and I was like, no, my phone did not just ding. Yeah, and it's like 10 o'clock at night and it was like this long message and I was like, I'm gonna read it, but I wanted to be like, no, come upstairs and say it. I know. But I was just like, nah. And I feel like, and I had said, and I know, I'm sorry,
there she go again. But like, no, 100%. Like but I am getting better at it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it comes from a place of like how I was raised. My father was passive aggressive, right? Mm-hmm. I cannot afford to be passive aggressive. I think I said this before. Like my dad is a 6'3", 250-pound man. His passive aggression still says a lot.
Yes.
5'9", 170-pound Alonzo, my passive aggression gets stepped on. Like move, little dude.
Yeah.
So now I have to be more vocal. Now in the world.
Yeah.
I'm way more.
I was just about to say you're not the same. Yeah,
I'm way more.
Absolutely.
Vocal, right, but here, not so much.
And I want to I also want to make sure that you're communicating with me because I know I can be. I talk. I'm a savable, but I want you to know that I care. I care. So I'm like, no, something's wrong. You're like, well, no, I'm good. No. Something's wrong and I need you to say it. And then it turns into me trying to pull it out and I'm like, I know he kind of doesn't want to say anything, but I'm seeing that your body language and stuff is different.
Definitely.
And I need you to say something because now I'm going to go crazy because I need to say something.
Let me speak to that right fast too. Like I think part of that goes into, and I was talking about this in my yoga training, it not being okay to complain.
Oh.
Right? So like for me, I grew up in a household or like they had this mentality. I don't even know where it came from that. Like complaining is a form of like not being appreciative or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I never wanted to be. I didn't want any parts of that. However, what happens is there's things that I don't like or things that I don't appreciate, and I have to and I've internalized it so much that I have to deal with it within myself. But now that I'm in a relationship, you see me internalizing it and dealing with it, and you're like, yo, like, what's up?
And like, it's like you don't have to.
I'm fighting myself to get it out, right? And that's where I get these communication things. But yeah, that's why I think that's where it is, and I have to constantly battle that and break that and fight that.
Absolutely.
And you just continue to be patient with me.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here for the long haul, bro. I did what?
Oh yeah, you ain't going
signed
nowhere.
up for it. I said, "Who my name, Dawn? Ooh, cause I like Lonzo." yeah, but it's I like Lonzo. And so, okay, you had a
here we go.
One.
Arguing versus speaking. Is there ever a time when arguing is beneficial?
So it's weird on how to say this. Like, probably. Like beneficial, I almost want to say yeah, no, but sometimes it's necessary. It's necessary because I'm like, listen, sir, I know you don't. This needs to be said in the way because what you just did was so offensive to me that what I'm going to say is probably going to cause an argument, but it absolutely absolutely has to be said. Now the way that we handle this argument, you know what I mean, can still be civilized. But let me tell you this right here. And let me tell you that it's going to come with a little bit of neck action. And let me tell you that it's going to come with a little bit of hand flail. Like, it just is what it is. Like, it's going to come with some words rolling off the tongue. Like, because that was so offensive to my sense of, like, to everything about me. That when I say this here, it's probably going to come out quick. Ba-boom! And then I got to address whatever just happened. Ba-boom-boom! So it's like, so I'm just saying, like, to me, sometimes an argument needs to happen. And not even on a sense of, like, you know, some people like, you got to get all that, like, out, and then you're better from it. And it's like, no, like, that hurt my heart. Yeah. So it's like, that needs to be said. Like, for me to feel like I know that you know, like, I need you to know, I need to know that you know this.
That's from,
so that's why I say, like, sometimes I think it may not be beneficial because you're like, oh, it's beneficial to say it that way or say it that quick.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I feel like it's necessary because I need you to know.
You gotta get it out,
like,
right.
That's how much it offended me. That quick.
I feel that. Honestly, when I think about it, I'm not an arguer, right?
No, not at all.
I am not an arguer. However, when I get to that boiling point,
it's only been like 2 times. We've been together how long?
A long time.
8 years?
Yeah.
It was
like so when it come out though.
I think I had to hide it. I like openly laughed before because you were like mad and you were like saying it. You were like, and I just feel like, and I was like, oh my God. I'm serious. Yeah. I was like, look at him expressing himself.
Yeah, nah.
And then it was like, now wait. But I was so, it was cool to see. It was like a movie. It was like, where my popcorn?
Uncomfortable. It is so uncomfortable to like be in that space because oftentimes sometimes people say stuff that they really don't mean, and once you say it, you can't pull it back.
Cannot.
And so I'd rather err on the side of caution and not say anything at all. But like when I say, but because we know where we stand in our relationship, you know what I mean. If I do go too far, you know I ain't trying to. We ain't. This ain't no. We ain't breaking up. Right. That's what's not happening. You know what I mean? But even still, like you do have to have some tact in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
And so for me, just when I think of also reasons, another reason why your communication, you know, isn't where it should be or wasn't because it's better, wasn't where it should be is also, like you said, how you were raised. You kind of had this mindset whether you developed it yourself or just not really complaining or not voicing certain things. But then the first 6-7 years of our relationship, you lived alone, and so we communicated over the phone. But the way that and the way that you function on your day to day did not include physically having to consider it, right? And so now that I'm home, and literally like you're like, no, this is how I used to do things, and I'm like it. Like, and you know, and the thing is sometimes it's hard to say because you don't want to say. I don't want to sound like I'm this, you know, this wife coming home and I'm like, oh, this how we about to do stuff now, and I'm like, no, well, how things start to really mess us up with you is you'll literally have these things planned, and you're like, oh, I got off work at 3, but I forgot to tell. It's the day of. Say it's Wednesday. And I forgot to tell you I got this event from 4 to 6, and you're like. You know, so it's like those types of things. Like, no, that can't fly because then you're going to get home at like 7, you know what I mean, like 8 o'clock because after the event, you're not just leaving right away, you talking or just whatever. And then, so then you think of your weekend, you're like, Or, and also another thing you would do is you sign up for things, right? Yeah. And then you're like, it's a week commitment of like 6 hours, 7 hours out of your day. Yes. And I'm trying to give, you know what I mean, examples of, you know, like it'll be like a commitment from what was it, Saturday to Friday? Thursday. Saturday to Friday, Thursday. Saturday to Thursday of a commitment of, was it like 8 hours or something crazy, a full work day.
Yeah.
And I'm told like the day before.
Yeah.
And we have a daughter.
Yeah.
And just other things in life that we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like that was fine when I didn't live here.
Definitely.
Like then it was just like, and I'm talking to you on the phone, I forgot to tell him, okay, cool, tomorrow I just can't talk to him until after 5:30. And you're like, oh, that sucks, but
that's the space that I kind of stay in. So, and like honestly, when I was hearing you say all of those things, I do realize that that's where a lot of this comes from, right? Like,
oh, yes, I get it.
Because all of our communication, like when we get on the phone sometimes, it'll be like, yo, I had a trash day, but you had a bad day too. And that takes precedence, especially because when you were away, you were in season.
Yeah.
Right? And so oftentimes whatever you're going through takes precedence, so I have to like suppress like what I'm dealing with and then deal with it myself afterwards, and I still have those tendencies even now. I mean, and so what, this is your second year?
Right it's so crazy,
and we did 7 years apart.
That's crazy.
So so let's talk about so let's review, like, these are the reasons why I suck, right? No, I don't suck on my communication. Dang, like that's another communication flaw, right?
Yeah, no, you were hard on yourself. But check this out, I got you. You see how I was like, whoa, boo, no baby bug, no love lump of my life.
Yeah, so I think.
So what's up? What do you think?
I think it's a generational thing, right? Okay. I was raised by a passive aggressive person, which worked for him again, but it doesn't work for me. 2, I'm a pleaser.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm a pleaser, I really don't tend to like, I don't identify, I don't give my feelings an identity. Right? 3, we did a bulk of our relationship long distance. Right? So planning within our relationship only had to do, it only affected me. So
and you fit in a phone call. You
definitely
know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And so there was no necessity to like write it out in front of everybody, put it on the calendar, because it was just still my schedule.
Almost get approval. Like not approval, but you agreeing.
100%. Right? And then the other part was because I didn't always get to like express myself over the phone for 7 years.
Yeah.
I had to deal with it myself, and it becomes a like one-man show again.
Wait, you said you didn't get to express yourself over the phone?
Not a lot of times.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't tell me nothing? We could extend this. Tell me everything now. That sucks. Y'all, I just... So now, wait a minute. So now we're going to do another episode on how Dawn didn't let this man express himself for 7 years.
No.
Hey, thank you for still being with me.
Yeah. I gave you the ring. It was too late. No turning back.
Girl, you said it like...
No takebacks.
Anyway.
You said no refunds.
No, you didn't get this back.
But I think all of those were like the perfect like ingredients to like, even now at year 8, going into year 8 of our relationship. Honestly, year 9 of our relationship, right?
Yeah.
But year 8, and me being I'm about to be 36. Like all of these things play into where we still have like communication hiccups, right?
And so what I want to say.
What you want to say, baby?
Is thank you for allowing this to be a heavy loaded Alonzo episode. It was aggressive.
Yeah, I think I thought about it though. Yeah.
I feel like, was it your idea to do this one?
Yes, it was definitely my idea.
That's what I was gonna say. So so I felt like that gave me a little more freedom to express myself, because it wasn't like I'm like, I just want to tell them how you just tripping. It's like, no, I mean, but another thing is, I'm very happy that you want to do this, because I really want to, throughout like many of these episodes, really give people just an insight of like how we communicate, how we operate, just good and bad. People often they see us laugh about a lot of things, or they see certain things, and I know some of these ladies be like, oh my God, her teachers, I know she got a perfect man. And I do, but you know. And so, you know, just for like, thank you for, you know, almost like letting just being a semi-punching bag, you know what I mean, for this episode.
Yeah, I think like our podcast is about transparency, right?
Yeah,
and
we
I
want
think
to keep it that way for sure.
And I think with us being 100 about that component, like liberates other relationships and other couples, right? And it's a teaching tool, right?
Yeah.
You know, and
Absolutely.
so hopefully we educated people.
Yeah.
But like no, 100% though. I think all of these things help to make us a better unit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
We all come into a relationship with a certain amount of baggage.
Yep.
Baggage looks different.
Ain't no way,
right?
yeah. No
Baggage
way
looks
around
different, and we all come from different households. We all raised differently.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get married, that's what we marry.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so.
Yeah, I think this was good.
Yeah.
So we let y'all in again. We let you in again. It got deep this time. And hopefully, y'all don't think I just be beating up on this man in the house. But,
nah, you don't.
Okay, thank you. Give me a kiss. So, honestly, this was just another piece of us letting you in. This was a part of our relationship, you know. And so, like we said, these episodes will be about our views, our conversations on current events, relationships, and our everyday life. You just got a glimpse of our everyday life.
So, yeah, if you enjoyed it, please. You caught me off guard right here.
Hey, there it is. But look, it's real. It's real right now. He's still contemplating on what's been going on.
I feel like I done said my piece.
I know.
I got nothing else to say.
So
but
look, just hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Hit it. Just join in, man. We having a good time over here, and I hope you do too.
See you next episode.